Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we'll be working on one of the machine in the Hack the Box, which is Bounty Hunter. It involves some website enumeration, and then there will be a form which is based on some XML. So we will be using some XML exploit, and once we get the shell, then we will uh, use some Python script to escalate our privilege to root. So that being said, let's get started. And by the way, this machine has been retired recently, so we are good to um, publish the walkthrough. So the IP address is sudo um, um, nmap. I forgot what I supposed to do. So nmap sc and sv 11.100 password, and um, once this nmap will be complete, we will check what all other ports are open. So it is always good to check the 80 or 443 port, even the nmap is running. So the title is Bounty Hunters, the B team about contact portal, and you can check the link down here. So um, it is the in page link, so there is no new page. So this is a different portal, so I'm opening it new window, and we can scroll down and you can see that can use burp. So this is kind of hint for us in this lab. Then about us, and if we scroll down, contact us form, and if we go all the way down to this, we can see some links. These are dead links, so nothing interesting here. And we can check the page source um, to find out if some hidden comments are there. So uh, one thing, a few things in this page which I noticed when doing this machine is one is related to this comment. So there is a page called mail/contactme.php, and it says update the email address in the code. To configure the contact form email address, go to this, and if I try to access this slash mail dot contact slash mail slash contact me dot php, it is not accessible. Even I change this, remove this email, added resources, in any case this is not working, so probably this is something not public and will is placed somewhere else. So moving further, another thing which you always should keep an eye on is to identify all the directories. So if I scroll down, you can see slash resources and slash assets and then JS for JavaScript. So all these directories should be checked for potential files or any other thing which we can use for, as part of enumeration. So let's go back to nmap and see if any other ports are open. Only 22 and 80 ports are open, and since the 80 port is open, then we should use the go buster to um, enumerate any directory or page. So 10 10 11.100, and let's use the common checklist file. And let's add extension PHP, because we know this is using PHP, or we can see the Apache here. So PHP is default, and let's use HTML also you can use, but let's remove that. Let's keep it to PHP only. So Uh, in parallel, let's browse more things on this website. So one is portal.php. It says portal under development. Go here to test the bounty tracker. Just verify anything there in the code. No. So let's go to bounty tracker page. And this is the form which I was talking about. So let's um, initiate the burp suite as well. So we'll be capturing the request and we'll see what is going on under the hood. So if we type some title, some test CWE, score, and then reward 100, if we submit it, we can see it is getting printed here, and we can check the page source as well. So you can see the jQuery as the default file, so we will not be looking into it. And this is another JavaScript file which looks interesting, so let's open in another tab. And most likely this is used to submit and print the details here, uh, which we saw once we submitted it. And if we check the JavaScript file, we can see there is another PHP file. So we can check this file, and it is similar to the one which we see here. So it is nothing but just a template. So this post request is sending some data to this page, and then the portal page is displaying that PHP response by filling the details here in this page only. So let's close this, and it's wise to check the source for all pages just in case for hints or something. Okay, so if we check the function closely, we can see the XML is being used here. And these are notes, bug report, title, CW, ECVSS, and reward. So it is pulling the HTML information and uh, using those variables as input, and then it is just returning it and logging any error which is coming. So Ajax query is used. So let's check the burp suite, what is going on there. And by the way, you can see the GoBuster um, directories, uh, the GoBuster response. So one of the file is db.php, which is interesting. But if we check the URL, so we let me remove this. So we don't see any response here. So page is blank, and if I check the source, it is also blank. So you have already seen that I have used dummy ID is equal to 1 just to check if there are some parameter or something. And even I try to brute force this using FUF. So uh, parameter brute forcing and then the value. So no parameter was identified using that exercise, and this page remained uh, as blank and mystery during the initial um, CTF exploration part. Okay, so burp is almost on, and we can uh, enable the proxy. Burp suit, let's go there. And one thing which I overlooked during initial checks is slash resources directory, which which we saw in the first page source. So slash resources, if we check, there are a couple of files available there. So let me stop it for now. So you can see there is a readme.txt JS file, bootstrap files. We have already checked this. These are jQuery and the CSS file. So uh, new thing is this readme.txt. So if we check the content, it says tasks. So two tasks are completed and two are pending. So it says disable test account on portal and switch to hashed password. So that means hashed password are not used as of now, and no password access is enabled, which is supposed to be disabled once this task get executed. And then the second thing is connect tracker submit script to the database. So the DB file could be related to this task. Don't know what uh, it is supposed to say exactly. And then we can see the tracker submit script is written, and we have already tested that. And it says fixed developer group permissions, which is already fixed. So another thing is all.js. We can look at this, but by this with this information, you can see that this is a default JS file, so we will not get into it. Let's start with burp suit and intercept the request of this portal. So if we submit it, um, let's take this to repeater drop, and let's turn off the intercept, and you can see the data which is going is this. But we have checked that the JavaScript file is supposed to submit the XML response. So here some kind of encoding decoding is required. So first of all, you can see the percent symbol. So this is because of URL encoding decoding. And before I proceed, one thing I just want to mention that we can identify few things using browser um, tool as well. So if we go to inspect and network, you can see some of the information. If we click submit, then we can identify the um, post request data. So, and you can go to request, and you can see the data payload, and here from here you can copy this and check, for example, cyber chef, to identify what it is. So if I paste it here, um, you can see the magic wand, and if I click this, it is using base64, and this is the decoded version. So the XML response is sent to the server, and the advantage to use burp suite is that we can do URL decoding uh, and base64 decoding here only. So if I click URL decode, it will remove those percent sign, and it will be base64 string, and if we decode this, we can see the XML response, and we can make the changes here and re-encode everything and send the request to the server. So if I undo all the things, if I then I send it, we can see uh, some details which we filled, like 100, score 8, test CWA, and test as a title. So let's play around with this thing. So control U, sorry, control shift U if you want to use the keyboard shortcut, control shift uh, B as a base64 address. Okay, so let's uh, check what we can do in XML. So if we search for XML exploit, we can see uh, XXE, that is XML external entity injection. This is from Port Swigger, and other articles are also there. And read about the vulnerability and the way which we can use to exploit. What I will be using for this video is to use payload all the things website for XML. So if you go there, you will find a couple of payloads that can be used for this exercise. So if I scroll down, you can read the summary and everything. And first of all, we will try to identify or detect the vulnerability if it is there or not. So for that purpose, let's add this node here in the second line of XML, paste, and then the second thing is to use the example variable, um, which is mentioned here as well inside, for example in rewards. So let's select this and control B, control U, and send this to the server. And we can see the name gets inserted, so we know that the vulnerability is there. And one thing I want to point out is let me restore this. So control shift U, control shift B, is that if you are using um, any website uh, to identifying or to checking the code which we can use to exploit, it can contain some um, characters will not which should not be used. So for example, um, from one hackman, and if we just copy some code like we did from payload all the things, so we can miss one small thing. It can be uh, anywhere. uh, for example, if I copy this portion, uh, copy, and uh, let's paste it down in our request, and then change the variable xxe, and let's encode this, control shift B, control shift um, control B, and control U, control B, control U. And if we send this request, we can see uh, no response is received. I mean, we are not able to see any value. Even the other values, for example, test and test CWE, it is not returning anything. So that is because control shift UB, that is because the characters used in this line are not using the Unicode characters. So for example, you can see the, let me copy this on some notepad, then I will be able to explain it better way. So if I paste it here and in fact just if I copy this portion, copy paste and then paste it again, you can see the inverted commas which are not straight, and if I type it again, so uh, you'll be able to see the difference. So these are different characters and these are different characters. So uh, the HTTP server or the Apache server or any server which is being used on the server side, sometime it is not able to recognize these double quotes. So you can replace these double quotes, single quotes, sometimes colon or semicolon as well, and then reattempt the same command. So um, it can save your time a lot because you are doing the same thing, but the character is different. The definitely the ASCII number will be different for these two uh, inverted commas. Okay, let's go back, close this, and um, so we have already identified that the vulnerability is there, and we can now um, check whether we can read the file, for example passwd in this case. So let's copy the first portion first, and then the vulnerability the variable is test. So let's paste it here again, and the inverted commas are right in this GitHub page, that I know for sure. So we are good to go. Let's encode this, control B, control U, and if we send this, we can see the response. We are able to read the file, and we can identify one user, that is development, with the bin bash. Another is lxt. This can be used for previous part if required, but the takeaway from this file is development user. So we know user is development, we need to identify the password. So you remember we talked about one um, file which was db.php. It was kind of mysterious because it was not responding, not returning anything. So uh, let's check if we can read the content of this file. So it must be located in the default directory. So let's enter that, double slash, then double slash var under slash www slash html slash db.php. I think this should be the correct path. Let's try. Control B, control U, send, and we are not able to read this file for some reason, because this is a PHP file and it is processing the PHP file and then returning it. That could be uh, one of the issues. So let's go back, control shift U, control shift B. So payload all the thing. Let's scroll down, and we can um, use this for PHP file, PHP wrapper inside xe. So let's copy the entire thing, paste it here, and let's use db.php straightforward, and content.page slash resource is equal to db.page. So uh, we are using this page, so we are at html root directory, so we can use the complete path, or we can use the db.php part. both will work, and the variable is xxe. Let's replace this, and if we encode it again and send, we have received the uh, base64 value. So select all and scroll to left, everything is selected. Let's go back to our shell and let's check if we see anything else apart from the things which we have already discovered. db.php response is 0 and portal.php/resources, so nothing new. So let's paste it here and let's use base64 -d to decode, and we can see this is the PHP code and there is a db password, db username admin, db name is bounty, and the test user is test. So let's try this password and the username on the server, which was development. There was no admin user or any other user on that server, by the way. So let's check development 10.10.11.100, enter, and removing $sign, and let's copy this password and we are in. Let's check if there are some files on the user profile. Yes, contract.txt, user.txt. Let's check the content of contract.php because user.txt is a user flag. So cat contract.php, it is written from the user John, and it says I'll be out of office this week, but please make sure that our contract with the SkyTrain Inc. gets completed. This is uh, blah blah blah. You can read everything, and the important thing is I set up the permission for you to test this. So let's check one more thing, is to use sudo -l. We already have the password. So you can see the ticket validator for SkyTrain Inc. and the permission is already set up because we can run this Python file. So let's go to this Python file and see uh, the code uh, here. The session got stuck here for some reason. Let's open another window which we needed anyways. So let's paste the password, uh, which was this, and on the left hand side let's try reading the Python code. So paste uh, cat paste and can read the source. So basically what is going on here is defining one function which is load file. So location is one parameter. So if location ends with .md, then return this, else exit wrong file type. So we know we need one file which is .md. And by the way, this script is for validating the ticket. So as a name implies, ticket validator, and we can in fact check the um, /opt/SkyTrain Inc. directory, ls invalid tickets, ed invalid tickets, ls ls minus l, and cat maybe star.md. So this is the first ticket and it is ending here, and then the second, and so on. So these are invalid tickets, and um, we need to create some valid tickets, right? So let's go to temp directory. um, ls multiple files are there. uh, let's ignore that. Create nano, um, mm, maybe ticket dot, let's keep it short because we need to type it again t.md, right? And press OK. And um, we need to add few things. So if you read the this part of the function, so it is evaluating the ticket file. The it is running in a loop for each line. So for the line number one, if this is not written, then return false. So the first line should be this one. Let's press enter, and continue for the second line, that is line 1. The first line was line 0 for line 1. If not starts with this, uh, copy paste, then return false, otherwise print um, the destination. And the third line, um, the ticket code. If this is there, then continue and add code line I plus 1, that is increment of one line. So because space is there, so let's write some test, or maybe some name. So the next line, if code underscore line end with I is equal to code line, uh, if not x starts with star star, then return false. That means we have to add the star star. And then the trickiest part, which is ticket code is equal to x dot replace this with blank and split with plus, and then read the first value of the array. So that means I'm just taking rough notes here. So the starting part is star star, we know. So let's add some uh, uh, random text 123 here, and let's see what it is asking us to do. So x dot replace star star with space. So the star star will be replaced, um, and the value which will remain will be some text 123, um, because these two stars will also be replaced, and then it is splitting with the character plus. So for example, instead of space, this uh, text, this plus sign is there in our ticket, so it will split using plus character, and it will read the first value. So the first value is sum. So the ticket code will be sum, and then it is doing some calculation. So the ticket, the first I mean, this instead of sum, this should be an integer. So let's replace this with integer, for example 123. And for better clarity, that is 123, and the first thing in this string is 123. So it is checking, it is converting it to as a integer, treating it as integer, and then modulus 7 is equal to 4. So that means the remainder of the division, uh, if we divide it using 7, it should come as 4. So what could be the value. So for example, um, 14 plus 4, 18. So if we do the modulus of 18 with 7, the result will be 4. That is remainder of 18. 7 to the 14, and then 18 minus 14, that is 4. So we are satisfying this condition as well now. So the next thing is validation number. So this is doing some kind of evaluation. X is the line. It is replacing again star star with nothing, and after performing some kind of evaluation, it is checking if the validation number is greater than 100, then return true, otherwise false. So our number, once the evaluation is done, our number should be greater than 100. So let's add 100 here, um, or maybe let's add 100 in our final ticket version. 18 plus 100, and then let's remove the lines. So let's save this for now, and we can try testing this ticket. um, Sudo minus l, we can copy this. For testing purpose, we can um, run this script without sudo as well, but this is okay. The path is slash opt, sorry, slash tmp slash t dot md, and it says valid ticket. So we have reached to the valid ticket portion and everything is good, but now we need to exploit our ticket. So um, in this script there is a function that we know called eval. So if you will find this python eval uh, exploit, you might see a couple of articles here. If we check these articles, we can find the ways to exploit it. Let's wait. And if we scroll down, you can see eval os.system clear os.getCMD inside the eval function, and subprocess get output pwd or remove anything. um, so you got the idea. And import subprocess get output ls. So uh, the eval function uh, is not intended to do these things, but we can do it anyways. I'm not sure this was um, intentional or this is a bug. Let's check what this article is saying. So eval function, exec function, uh, eval exec and input, uh, and similar things are mentioned here. Import os.system bash and reverse shell example. So let's try something like this here. So what we need to do is to add an and command so that both the equation on the left hand side and the right hand side gets evaluated. After the stars are removed, these stars will be removed first and then the evaluation will get executed. So underscore underscore import underscore underscore packet os dot system, and instead of using reverse shell, let's initiate the bash because we have sudo access. And if you see this article, I have used the similar um, command in this script to initiate the bash shell, and we need to complete the equation with the um, equal to sign. Like uh, we can we can do it here as well. For example, 18 plus 100 equal to uh, 118, right? So this equation will be evaluated and this equation will be evaluated. So let's save this and we can try running this using sudo slash tmp slash t dot md, enter, and we are root. ls wc slash root slash root.txt. So this is the flag, 33 characters. You can go and read this flag. So that's it for this room. I hope you have enjoyed and learned something new, especially related to XXE vulnerability and the Python eval function vulnerability. So have a great day ahead and subscribe to the channel, and bye bye.